printing, like as if maybe there's something that has down.
Let me say how
Once a week or whatever.
So what I've done, like you somewhat Donna, we can go.
I've sent you a message right now. So that yes. What was Mr. Manda right now? When I've me that message, so check it. Why your name your address? Yeah, so Mutumi, you're sending, they say we have been waiting for our credentials. Sound a bit sarcastic sometimes. Don't be too nice. So there's nothing kind of nice. You're the client. You're supposed to put pressure on them. They're supposed to be doing these things for you.
Okay. Good afternoon, colleagues.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, I hope we are all doing okay. How many of us have started receiving our credentials? Those that are the lucky first ones.
Yes, I received.
Okay, you have received that, Muzala.
Yes, that's correct. Afternoon, everyone.
Okay. Afternoon. Which local authority is that one?
Kilanga.
Okay, Chilanga. Okay. Who else has received their credentials? Only Chilanga has received their credentials. Okay, so we're going to commence into today's session. So we wanted to be able to use one of the websites, or especially for us who have just received our credentials, if we could log in into one of your websites to use it as an example, so that we do not distort what is already on another website. So those that would be willing for us to use their website as an example, we even start perfecting it, and then they carry on. So who would be willing to volunteer their website as a case study for today? Sorry?
Lunga Town Council.
Is that Lunga?
Yes.
Lunga, that's Mr. Who?
Sten Mumba.
Mr. Sten Mumba. Okay.
Yes.
Then hit me in my inbox on WhatsApp. Just send me a hi on WhatsApp,
Okay.
so that we can discuss on the site. Then we log into your Facebook. I mean, not Facebook. What are we doing? Website. Sorry.
Website.
Yes, we log into your website.
For the website.
Yes. Okay, so people are still joining. I'm seeing we have 21. Let's wait for the numbers to grow, but just hit me on my inbox. So as people are logging in, we are going to do a brief recap. So based on what we discussed yesterday, just within 5 minutes or so, as other people are logging in, do we have any areas of clarifications from what we discussed yesterday? And where you would want us to recap, then we go into today's session. Any clarifications from yesterday?
Maybe from the, as you said yesterday, from the first video, I mean the first session that we had on how we can be posted. I don't know if we can pass through that so that we can have a video for that one, and we are able to send it to us, and we be able to have it.
Okay, so that's on posting news stories, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let me just log in so that I can share my screen. So news stories, any other areas that people would want us to go back briefly? Lunga, I'm still waiting for you to hit me in the inbox so that we can use your website. Okay, so are people able to see my screen? Yes, sir. Unfortunately,
I don't know your line, which is on WhatsApp, so I'll failed
the same one which is being highlighted in the group. If you go in the group, I've just posted to say it's now 15 hours, we'll conclude at 15:50. So that same number which has just posted in the group. You are in the website orientation group, sir. Okay, so we are going to do a quick recap on the posting of news stories. So I request that our other colleagues, if your mic is on, you can just mute it. KTC, your mic is on. We're hearing your conversation. Okay, so I believe that you are all seeing my screen and we are running through the posting of news stories. So a recap from what we did the other day, when we log into our backend, this is the view that we get when we log into our backend. So for us to post a news stories are falling under posts. So remember yesterday we talked a bit about page creation, which is like the fourth option in our menu, in our control panel. But the posting of news stories, it's the first item in our menu on the left. So I'm just going to view the front end so that we can see the last story that was posted in the front end, so that as we develop a new story, we can see the difference. So if you look at the website, the Hmong website that we're using as a case study, the last story that was posted is the CDF corner story, learn more. So now we are going to generate a new story that we are going to post, and we are going to see it come in front of this one. So I hope people are able to hear me. Just do a thumbs up if you are able to hear me, so that I can be sure that we are together. Okay, that's good. I've seen a lot of thumbs up, so people are able to hear me. Okay, so once we go into our backend, we are going to come on posts, and then we are going to say add new. We are adding a new post. So it is also possible to view all our posts, but now we are focusing on add new post. So I am going to click on the new post, and it is going to open this window where I am able to edit the post. So I am going to give this post a title. So let's assume the title is Rehabilitation of Township Roads under CDF. So I am going to put my title as if my spellings are terrible, so let's just move on. Rehabilitation of Township Roads under CDF. So let's assume that is the title. So I have placed the title for my story. Then, if we go to the front end, you will notice that each story has this feature image on top of it that shows on top of each story item. There are these feature images. How do we insert this feature image? So once I have put in the title, I'll focus on the right-hand side of my screen and look at these attributes that are on the right-hand side. So if I scroll down to the bottom, almost at the bottom of the page, there is this part that says featured image. So this featured image is the image that appears on the story on my front end as a featured image on the story. So I'll come here where it says set featured image. I will click on set featured image, and I will do the same in my library. If the image I want to use is already in my library, I will select that image. But if that image is on my local computer, I will then go to upload files, select files, locate that image from my local computer, and then I will upload it. But I want to assume that that image is already sitting in my library. I will select an image in my library. To arbitrarily, I will select this image, and then I will say set featured image. Once I have set featured image, you will see that the image that I have selected is going to show here as my featured image. So I will go back here. I have already inserted the title for my news story. So for news stories, remember yesterday when we were creating a page, we were clicking edit with Elementor because we were building the page brick by brick. But these are news stories, so there's no need for us to go in to edit the page with Elementor. We just paste the content here in this text box. So assuming that I have this content sitting somewhere, let me just find some content that we can post. Just a minute, I generate some text. Okay, so I will get my news item and I'll post the text or paste the text in there. So I have my story title, my news item title. I have put the news body and then I have set my featured image at the bottom. So once I have done those three things, I will now come under publish here on the right side and click publish. So this story has been published. Okay. So if I go to the front end view and refresh my page, you will notice that the story that we have just posted, rehabilitation of township roads under CDF, has now taken the first position is backwards. So the most latest story that you post is the one that becomes #1. So this is how you post news stories. It's a simple three-step activity. You type in your story title, you put your story body, your text, and you set the feature image, and then you publish. So I am going to pause here for a few seconds so that I allow for questions, and then we'll move on to adding images. So questions on stories. We're just doing a recap, remember? Yes, I am seeing a hand, Sten Mumba.
Yes, I just want to, can you just redo on how to put the featured image?
The featured image.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Victor Mlenga.
How are you, sir?
I'm all right. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, sir. So I just wanted to know, does the order matters? Because we started with you putting the title, then we went to the image, then we went now to the text. But when you go to the front end there, what's starting first is the picture. So how is it aligned in that manner?
The order does not matter necessarily. The order does not matter. You can start with the feature image. You can start anywhere. Just make sure by the time you publish, all the key information has been placed in your story title, your story body, and the featured image. So there's no order necessarily.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Any other clarification? Okay, so there was a request from, is it Sten, that we redo it again, just briefly. So since we are going to use the same content, I am going to go back to all posts so that I see all my posts. And the most latest post is this one, which we have just been using as a demo. And since I no longer want it, I am going to click on trash, and it is going to go into trash. And if I go to my front end and refresh, you will notice that that story will no longer appear. That story is gone. It has gone into trash. So that is how you remove stories that you no longer want. So we are quickly going to go through the process again for the sake of our colleague who has requested that we do a recap. So we are in the backend and we want to post a new story item, a new news story item. So we come on posts and we are going to say add new post. So we click on add new post and it is going to give us this page. So on this page, we are adding our story title, which we had said rehabilitation of township roads under CDF. That's our story title. Then we have our story item already typed in Microsoft Word or whatever tool it is. Our PRO has probably already developed the story item. So we are going to come in the story body and put our content there. Okay. So assuming that is the content for our news item, we're going to put our story body there. So we have done two things so far. We have put the story title and the body. So we are remaining with one thing, the featured image. So remember here we said the order doesn't matter. You just need to make sure you do the 3 steps. Your story title, the main body, and the featured image. So now I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the page and say set featured image. Once I click on set featured image, it is going to open into my gallery where I am going to select the image that I want to use as a featured image. And then I'll click on set featured image, and the image is going to show at the bottom there. Once the image has shown, it has shown me that the featured image is set. I am going to click on publish here. And once I've clicked published, it means my story is now live and can be viewed in the front end. If I go to the front end and click refresh, you will notice that my story, Rehabilitation of Township Roads, has now become the first story here, and it is showing. If I click on it, or I click on the read more, it now takes me to the entire story, the main body of the story, together with the featured image that I had set. So this is how we post news story items. So we've done a recap on the posting of news stories. Do we need to do a recap on yesterday's work, or we are comfortable with what we did yesterday? I shall seek your feedback on that one.
It means that you need to hurry up because looking at the time, I'm seeing we're already chewing into our time.
Okay.
We are going to go beyond 16 hours. That's what I'm seeing.
Okay, that concern is noted. Although the guideline I have received is to make sure people are comfortable so that the websites begin to have life. So yeah, let's just give an opportunity to our colleagues who would want to be comfortable to be comfortable. But if everyone is comfortable, we can move forward. So, okay, Mr. Mvita, you've dropped your hand. Okay. So today we said we were going to look at the slider revolution. This part. So yesterday we looked at this part, the pictures of the principals and the welcome message. So today we are looking at changing the images of our slider revolution. So I had made a request to say those of us that are receiving credentials, if anyone would want us to use their website as an example for today's work, those that have received their credentials, who would want us to use their website? Silence means no one wants to volunteer their website. Mr. Sten Mumba, your hand is up.
Yes, I think we can also revise on yesterday's work because some of us network was terrible, so we are not getting it properly. Just brief when we can move together.
Okay, we'll do it in under 2 minutes because at the most 15, 50, 16 hours we should conclude. We don't want to go beyond because we know you have other responsibilities. Okay, now I'm seeing more hands. Mr. Mubita.
Yes, I'm just of a different view though, because the video for yesterday is posted in the group. So maybe for the sake of time and moving forward, I'm of a view that maybe those who did not really get it yesterday, they can just watch the video because it contains almost everything, I think, for yesterday.
Okay, that's a valid concern. Mr. Mayanda. Mr. Mayanda, you had the hand up.
Yes. So I agree with Mr. Morita. We just proceed with our lesson for today. Why we opted for the first lesson for the first session was because the recording wasn't done. So we just
Okay.
wanted to have that so that at least we have the archive. But I agree with Mr. Movita.
Okay, that is duly noted. Since that motion has been seconded, we shall go with this motion democratically. Okay, so we'll move to the slider revolution. So we want to be able to manipulate this area. So we are going to break this lesson into 2 sessions. Today we are going to focus so much on the images.
Brian, sorry, can I interrupt you for a bit?
Yes, Mr. Ngluwe, go ahead.
Okay, I would just like to appeal to our colleagues that the videos are meant for your reference. We need your full attention on these one-to-one virtual trainings we're having. I've seen there's a tendency of the cry for the videos, then people want to go and practice while they watch, which is okay. But we strongly urge that people give you the full attention because this is in real time. You know, whenever there's an error here or you do something that they don't understand, they can easily ask you in real time. But if people are going to be dwelling on the videos as first hand, it will be a bit difficult for them to grasp the knowledge, or it might not take the time that it will take them to grasp the knowledge if they're paying attention in the video. So that is the only appeal I'm giving to the colleagues, that let them have these training videos as P1, then the videos should be as backup. Because most I've seen even in numbers, in the group of 2, I've looked at the numbers should have been more than 100, but we're not going above 50. But the requests for the videos are many. So I think let's also hold these trainings as a priority, because as the director said, this skill we are gaining will remain with you even from the council and beyond. So that is my appeal. I know people are saying videos, then I'll ask to say, then what exactly? I know there's network challenges and other related challenges you might face, but where you can join the meeting, I would gladly appreciate if people can pay attention. That's one. Then 2, I'm just another concern. All these systems analysts and PROs are new in the councils, and before this, they have got other officers who've been trained twice physically and more than 6 times in the other virtual meetings we've had before these ones. What has been their role in also orienting I think last time in the group, we indicated that before we even come in as a ministry, let the colleagues within the council, it's disheartening because you didn't find someone is requesting for a link to join the group from me, but they've got a colleague at the council who's part of the group for the website who can just simply copy the link and send them. So I think let's work as a team, as we've always encouraged. System analyst, programmer, data entry, let's work as a team. That's what I'll ask, because even when there are errors there, before they even rush to us or you, Brian, their colleagues at the council are well equipped to manage these websites. There's ones who've been managing. So even if they're senior, let's also work like that.
Sure. How is everyone that side?
That side where, sir?
Mr. Mwemba, I don't know if you're addressing us or we are just eavesdropping in your conversation. Mwemba Mizinga. Okay, I think we were eavesdropping. Okay, I think Wanzi's point cannot be overemphasized, so we shall carry on. I'm seeing a hand from Muzala. Chilanga.
Yeah, just briefly on that. Of my personal experience, I don't know about anyone else. Because I was a new officer and it's my first appointment in government, it took almost 4 months for people to warm up to me, and then because I would ask and they're like, oh yeah, we can have the session together, then they disappear and you keep going to ask them warmly with a nice smile, but they keep disappearing. It's taken 4 months now to finally have a conversation with them. The comment they gave me was, I thought you were shushush. That was why I was being avoided for 4 months. So yeah, I don't know about anyone else's experience, but that's what I got when I was just kindly asking, just for a few minutes, to talk to them about the website. That's all.
Anyway, we understand your sentiments, but all we can say is that it's human nature. As system developers, we always say the weakest link in any system is the human being. So it's human nature, but suffice to say, we are always here to give support. So we'll move back to today's discussion. So as I was pointing out, we are going to focus on the slider revolution. These images that slide as we log into our website, it's the first thing that welcomes our visitors after the menu. So there's the menu item at the top, and then we have this slider revolution. So this slider revolution, if you pay attention, we have a number of elements sitting here. We have the image that is sitting at the back. We have the scrolling text that is running on at the front here. And we also have functional buttons that are sitting in the slider revolution. So we are going to break this lesson into 3 parts. Today, we are just going to discuss the image, the background, the scaling of the image. And then tomorrow, we'll discuss adding layers on top of this image. So these button layers and the sliding text is layering our content on top of each other. So we'll start with the background and do the layering tomorrow. So I would appeal that we keep attending every day session when we can, because it will always build up from our previous discussion. So I'll enter into edit mode as usual. So remember, when we are in the front, we are viewing our website, but in logged in as the admin, we will see this ribbon at the top here. That makes us know that we are logged in as admin and we can access the backend. So once I click edit with Elementor, my page is going to load the Elementor widget that we are using. So I'll allow it to load. Once it has loaded, we should be getting familiar with this editing view now. You will notice that my control panel and my tools on the left-hand side will appear, and my page will appear like that. So remember yesterday we talked about the 3 major sections of the website: the header, the body, and the footer. So right now, this revolution, the slider revolution, is sitting in the body part of the website. So once I click here, anywhere where this slider revolution is sitting, pay particular attention with what will happen on the left-hand side. My tools are going to change, which will allow me now to start manipulating the slider revolution. So always pay attention to the change of your control panel whenever you click on an element. Right now, I have these widgets, the inner section, heading, image, text editor, and whatnot. The widgets that I can use as building blocks. But the moment I click on the slider revolution, my control panel has changed now, and it is now saying slider revolution 6, if we can see that. And then below that, I now have these options: to select a module, to edit a module, to block settings, and optimize file size. So for now, we are going to ignore these other options and we are going to focus on edit module. I hope everyone is following me. So once we click on the slider revolution, my control panel or my toolbars is going to change and it will give me these options. And we are focusing on the edit module function. Why are we focusing on the edit module? Because these modules have already been created for us and we are just editing the modules. Any questions so far? I'll allow for a question here. I'll pause for a second. Okay, so there are no hands up, meaning that we are okay. So once I select on edit module, notice that it is going to load and it is now going to take me into edit mode for the slider revolution. So we'll allow the internet to load. Okay, so once it has loaded, I am now in my edit view of the slider revolution. I'm sure we can see that my screen has completely changed from the normal tools that we have been using. I now have a very different view of the control panels and the tools that I'm using, because now we are dealing with the slider revolution. So if I go to the front end, you will notice that I have, let me see how many slides. I have 8 slides that are rotating. So there's the first slide. This is my first slide, which has text talking about CDF. Then I have the second slide, which is talking about the IDP. Then I have the third slide, which is talking about local governance and administration. I have the fourth slide, which is talking about stakeholders. So the slides are going up to 8. You can have as many slides as you want or a limited number of slides. So how do we add these slides now once we have gotten into our edit mode of the slider revolution? So our websites already have existing slides. So we can either edit an existing slide or add a new slide. So we are going to add a new slide. So at the top here, I will hover my cursor on the slides option. I hope we are able to see that. Once I hover my cursor on the slides, there's a drop-down menu that pops up to show me all the current existing slides. So if you can see from slide 1, there's also a pop-up view of what is the content of slide 1. Slide 2, I see a pop-up of the image that is on slide 2 going down up to slide 8. So if I want to add a new slide, I will hover my cursor here where it says add slide, and I will say add a blank slide. So I've hovered my cursor on add slide, and I say add a blank slide. When I click on blank slide, it will load and give me a blank slide like this one. This is an extremely blank slide. So now, how do I begin to add content to this slide? If we go to the right side of our screen, I have these options. There's the gear option here, which shows me settings. There's the directional tab here, which shows the navigations. And there's the layers tab here, which shows me, the background tab here. And then there's the layers tab at the end. So for today, we'll focus on tab number 3, which is the backgrounds tab. So once I have created a new slide, I will come on this tab here for the background, and then make sure my first option here, which says background, is the one that is selected. So if you see, I can select thumbnail, animation, filters, but I first want to place a background. So I'll make sure my background here is the option that is selected. Then if I come down here where it says source, currently my source type is saying transparent. I hope we can all see that. Let me just enlarge the screen. My source type is saying transparent, but I don't want this transparent, and I want an image to sit on my slide. So I'll click on the drop down and select the first option and say image, because I want my source type to be image. Once I select image, my option to go into the media library becomes active. Then I will click on media library and select an image from media library. So let's say this is the image I want to put on the slide background and say insert. That image now becomes my slide background. So if I click save at this point, at the bottom here, we can see the save. Once I click save, it means that this slide has been updated and can now be viewed in the front end. If I go to the front end view and refresh my page, I had 8 slides previously. I will now have 9 slides. If I keep going next slide, next slide, next slide, I should see my 9th slide, which has that classroom block, this one, which we have just added. So this becomes my 9th slide. So notice my other slides are normal with all these other layers, but the slide that we have just created only has the image. This is now my latest slide that I've added. Okay, so we have added a new slide, but what if I want to change the order of these slides? So if I come on my slides and hover my cursor on slides, you will see my existing slides. There were 8, now they have become 9. But I want my 9th slide to be number 1. So I will go to my 9th slide, drag and drop. So I'll click on it and hold, and drag my 9th slide to first position, like that. Meaning that my 9th slide has now become my number 1 slide. And if I come to the bottom and click save, it means that the order of my slides has now been changed. And if I come to the front end and refresh, this was my first slide, but after refreshing, my first slide has now become this one, which we have just created. The slide that was the first one has now gone to number 2, and so on and so forth. So by dragging and dropping, I can change the order of these slides to make them appear according to my preference. So this is the first part of manipulating our slider revolution. So let's discuss. Any questions? Let me see some hands up. Are people still there? It's too quiet. Okay. Any questions? Sinazongwe, Mayanda.
Yes, boss. I'm sorry, I just cut off, so I didn't like get the process. So I do not know if you may pass through the process again, so that I can at least grasp the part.
Okay, we'll do it again a bit. Mr. Wamundira, we are comfortable?
Yes, so far so good.
So far so good, huh?
Yes.
Okay. My brother from Lumezi, Julius, we are okay?
Yeah, we are together, sir.
We are together. Okay. Sure. So we're briefly going to go through that again for our friend in Sinazongwe who had been disconnected and missed 1 or 2 steps. Okay, so I'll restart the process again. We are going to delete this slide so that we reconstruct it again. So how do we delete a slide? If I hover my cursor on slides and come to the slide of concern that I want to delete, let me just zoom in my screen here so that you can be able to see it nicely. Okay, I will come on slides and I select the slide that I want to delete. And if you come along that line, you will see there's an eye there, there's a bin icon, there's a copy icon, there's a settings icon. But I want to delete this slide, so I'll focus on the bin icon. Once I click on the bin icon, it will ask me this question. This can be undone with only within this current session. So what does this message mean? This can be undone only within this current session. It means that if you have deleted something and you find that you were not supposed to delete it, do not click the save button. So for example, if I say, yes, delete this slide, and then I realize to say I should have not deleted that slide, I should not go ahead to press save. The best I can do is to refresh this page. When I refresh this page, it will return my page to its previous state in its previous content. But the moment I click save, it means that session has been saved. So if I deleted something or moved something erroneously, it means that thing has gone and I need to recreate it. But if I delete something erroneously and I realize it before clicking save, I can simply just refresh my page and my page will be returned to its previous state. But since I am sure I want to get rid of that slide, I will click save. And once I click save, if I go to my front end mode and click refresh, that slide has disappeared since we have gotten rid of it. But then my brother from Sinazongwe said, let's do it again. So we are going to create this slide again. I am going to hover my cursor on slides, and the first option on my pop-up is add slide. So I will come along and click on blank slide. I want to add a new blank slide. Once I click on blank slide, it will load and give me a blank slide. Then on my right-hand side here, I have 4 tabs, 1, 2, 3, 4. The settings, the animations, and the background and the layers. So right now we are focused on the background. I will click on this highlighted tab, which is background, and select the first option, which says background. And under background, if I go down, there's a source type here. My source, if I go on source type, it's currently transparent, meaning there's nothing on this slide. But I want to change my source type so that I can have an image sitting on this slide. So I'll click on the drop down and select the first option, which is image. Notice what will happen. The moment I click on image, my media library becomes active here so that I can now pick an image from the media library or upload an image from my local machine. So once I click on media library, it's going to load my media library, and I'm going to be able to select an image from my media library, which I'll put as my slide background. So my media library is loading. Yes, there we go. Once it has loaded, I will either select an image from my library or upload from my local machine. So I'm selecting from my media library and I'll click insert, and it will give me that background. So it will load that background and that image becomes my slide background. Okay, so once it has loaded, I will now click save to update my session. So once I click save, my session has been updated. So if I go to the back end, if I go to the front end view and refresh, you will see that my slide has now becomes the 9th slide. So if I go to next, next, next until the last slide, the slide that we have just created will be my 9th slide. Let me just refresh. There you go. So this is the slide that we have just created. Notice that it has no other layers. It's just a slide with an image. Now, the other part that we said is, what if I want to change the order of my slides? I want this 9th slide that we have just created to be the number 1 slide. I can now hover my cursor on slides, go to the 9th slide, drag it, and drop it in the position where I want it to be. So it has moved from number 9 to number 1. After I have done that, I can go and click save. Once I click save, this session has saved. I can go back to the front end mode and refresh. My slide would have updated. My 9th slide has now become my first slide. And I can do the same to any of these slides. I can change their order depending how I want them to load once a visitor has visited my website. So that is the first part of working with Slider Revolution. So it's already 15:50. We have 10 minutes to conclude our session for today. So in the 10 minutes, we shall have a plenary discussion so that we can ask questions or see where we have not gotten it comfortable. Then tomorrow, we shall look at adding layers to the slide. Today, we have just added a background image. Tomorrow, we'll be adding text and other functionalities. So in the next 9 minutes, let's have questions. It's now open for questions. Okay, so I'm seeing Gilbert Sakala, Rufunsa, and Mayanda. So Gilbert, you can go first.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, thank you.
Yeah, mine is just a clarification. I would like to find out the kind of emails that need to be submitted for us to get login credentials. During our induction, we were advised that the local government will advise government emails to use. We shouldn't be using personal emails for work purposes. So which emails are we advised to submit so that we could get those login credentials for the websites? Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Sakala, have you already been given the government email, or they are still pending, you're still waiting?
They're still pending. We are told that there's a hiccup in Lusaka that needs to be worked on. Once that is done, that's when the emails will be shared.
Okay, so for now, for us to make the sessions quicker, we can submit our personal emails, and once our government emails have been created, Wanzi can still facilitate the changing of emails, and then our work will be switched to our government emails. So to expedite the process now, we can submit our personal emails and we'll still be able to edit. So I'm seeing Mr. Muvita, your hand is up.
Good afternoon, Mr. Brian. Maybe
good afternoon, sir.
For the sake of people who have joined it, maybe they rewind on the background image because the challenge of network. That's
okay. You had the challenge of
network.
Okay. So I think okay. Once we have concluded the session and everyone has exited, those that were logged in a bit later, we can still continue and have 15 more minutes extra, so that those that are doing other things can log out at 16. Then the rest of us, we can stay for an extra 15 minutes. Okay, so I'll still remain with Mr. Muvita for the extra time. Any other contributions, concerns? Okay, yes, I become happy when people are asking questions. So we'll have Mr. Mlenga Victor. Then after Victor, we'll have Emmanuel Chirundu.
Okay. How are you, everyone?
We are okay, sir.
Okay. My concern is, okay, for me, I'm very happy that we have this because according to what I've been told, I'm the first IT personnel to be at Luano Town Council. So there's no program, I'm just alone. So even like asking where I can get help, it's difficult because I have never been in IT. Yes. So to me, everything I'm learning here is the only thing that's going to help me because I have no anyone who can assist me. If there's anyone who attended meeting previously, I'm not aware. So I really need your help. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Victor. I think we are always available to assist each other as the IT family. I hope you are in the main IT group for the local government where everybody, all other IT professionals are sitting.
The website, the one we're using?
No, there's the website group where we are together as a team of PROs and ITs, and then we have another group where there's just the IT colleagues and the IT professionals.
I think that one I'm not there.
Okay, just send me a text. Will facilitate for us to add you that side also, so that you can be getting insights from other colleagues.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Emmanuel, then we'll go to Lakson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mijelo. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible, sir. You can go ahead.
Thank you. So I heard something about using government emails. I don't know what happened to my network for a second there. I was unable to get you. So initially, with my initial submission or my initial request to Wanzi over the credentials, I did mention in my email that I had a government email created for me when I attended the contract tracking management information system. So I just wanted to be clear on what you said about it. I did include the email itself, my government email, my request email for the credentials. I just want clarity on what you said about it.
Okay, so the idea essentially is that at some point, all of us should migrate to using corporate emails or government emails for any of our official work. But since those emails are still under facilitation, there's no harm in us using our personal emails. But those of us that have already received, I think when we're doing the contract management, Western Province, most of the people that came to the training, they received their government emails, and Southern Province. So those of us that have already received our government emails, let's start using them and transfer all our corporate work on the government email. But if you have not yet received a corporate email, there's no harm in using your own email as you are waiting for your corporate email to be activated. So we can be using both, but essentially we are all supposed to migrate to our corporate emails. Mr. Lakson. Okay, Mr. Lakson, I'm seeing your hand up, but we can't hear you. I don't know if you're still there. Okay, so I think Mr. Lakson is not there. Mr. Vita, I'm still seeing your hand up. I don't know if it's from the previous contribution or you have a fresh one. Okay, there's silence. I'm seeing my brother Dominic from Rufunsa. I don't know if you have something to add on today's conversation. Okay, so there's silence in the group, meaning that I think for today's session, we are all comfortable. So we are going to conclude today's session here. We have done the slider revolution. We have added our new slide and added our background image. As we start receiving our credentials for the website, we can start practicing on those things, those that have already received. If you're having challenges, there's no harm in sending me a text, then we can discuss and then we can see how we can make each other comfortable. So it is 16 hours exactly. We promised that it was going to be a 1-hour session. So thank you for today's time. Those that have other things to attend to, we can attend to those things. And we'll meet again tomorrow for the second session on slider revolution. Those colleagues said they wanted to stay back 15 minutes. They can stay back, then we can recap on the slider revolution. So thank you for today. We are free to leave the meeting, those of us that are busy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so those that were exiting have exited. Am I safe to believe that the ones that are still remaining are those that still want us to do a bit of a recap?
Yes,
So
sir.
then, okay, so in the next 5 to 10 minutes, we can do a brief recap on the slider. So I think there's 23 of us remaining. Okay, so we are going to restart the process again. We'll delete this slide and we'll go back to front end view so that we can restart the process on how we got to the back end. Okay, so assuming we've moved from our dashboard view, remember once we log in into our website, this is the dashboard view that we get. So we get the dashboard view, and now we want to move to the front end so that we can edit the slider revolution. So we save view site so that we can come to the front part of the website. So once the front part of our website has loaded, on the ribbon here, we are going to go into edit mode. And remember the plugin that we're using to edit is Elementor. So we are going to say edit with Elementor. So I'll click on edit with Elementor so that we now go into edit mode, editing the landing page. Okay, so our page is loading. Our internet has just become a bit slow. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're going to allow our control panel to fully load so that we can see the changes that will happen on the left side of the screen in our control panel once it has loaded completely in edit mode. So remember, we highlighted the fact that your page is broken down into 3 parts. There's the header, the main body, and the footer. So now today we are focusing on the main body, and on the main body we are focusing on the slider revolution. So on the left side, I have my widgets, my tools that I use as building blocks, but I want to focus on editing this part, the slider revolution. So notice what will happen once I click on the slider revolution. The tools on the left-hand side are going to change to allow me to edit the slider revolution. So when I click on the slider revolution, notice that on the left-hand side, my tools have changed to select module, edit module, block settings, and optimize. So the option we are focusing on is the edit module. So once I click on edit module, my slider revolution is going to load into edit mode, and it is now going to give me the tools to begin to be able to manipulate the content of the slider revolution. So up to that point, are we all together? Are we all comfortable there? I can get feedback from the group.
Yes.
Hi, Brian. Sorry.
Yes.
When the meeting was over,
Yes.
was
Sorry?
I mistaken or I saw? Was I mistaken or I saw over 50 people in the meeting?
Okay, so the session ended at 16 hours. So there are those that have asked for extra time. So we are in extra time.
Okay. No,
So
apologies.
yes, the
Okay.
21 are in extra time. The other 6 they have left.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Yes. So I think
thanks.
you are still recording. You can probably end the recording because the main session has ended.
Oh, for me to end the recording, I'll end the meeting. So
let
me try.
Okay.
Let me try. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Okay, thanks. So we are just having like 15 minutes extra time, then we'll be concluding.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Okay, so we have managed to navigate into this edit mode. We are now editing our slider revolution. So we said today